this is Dave at the Shepherd School, and today we're going to talk about reloading your firearm, in a shooting situation, okay? So say you've got your gun, and you've got it out, and you fired, right? Bang, 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 and it's come back to slide lock, okay? How's the best way to load your pistol from slide lock? First, let's talk about where to keep your rounds. Now, depending, you're not going to probably be out, unless you're law enforcement, in a self-defense shooting with a duty belt on. So you've got to take into consideration, where you store your ammunition. But generally, on your offside, somewhere waist level is a good spot to keep your duty ammunition. Maybe get a inside the waistband type ammunition carrier. But if you carry it like that, see how I know where my magazine is? I've got the base plate faced away from me. I do that every time I put the rounds in. I put the bullet faces going backwards. If you want to be opposite and carry the bullets pointing forwards, you can do that, but what's important is you do that every time so that you know where they are. I got in the habit of keeping mine going backwards, okay? And so as I grasp them, I stick my finger right in front of the magazine, right? Bullet tip, fingertip. Bullet tip, fingertip. They're right there, okay? And I do that because your body instinctively knows where all the parts are, right? If I want to scratch my nose, I could scratch my nose. If I'm eating spaghetti and the lights go out, I don't stab the fork in my eye because my brain knows where my mouth is, my brain knows where my hand is. If I put my fingertip on the front of the magazine and I've got my gun pointed out, it automatically can go toward my pinky, right? It doesn't matter if I want to do this frontwards or if I want to do it backwards, right? As long as I know, because I don't want to get in the habit of switching and put fingertip to primer, because then I'm going to put it in backwards. Make sense? That being said, got the gun. I've went to slide lock, okay? So I'm out like this, okay? What I want to do, too many times people will bring the gun into their body and they'll look down or they'll start looking at the pistol. Well, if I'm reloading, it's probably because there's still a threat out there. And so I want my little eyeballs on the threat, not on the gun. So what I want to do is invert the gun in my hand, right? So that I'm looking past the gun, but I can still see the gun. So I invert it. And as a side benefit, that puts the magazine release right there underneath my little thumb, because I got a little short thumb, right? Bang, 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 slide lock. I invert it, and I drop the magazine out, okay? I don't try to catch it, don't try to do any of that fancy stuff, because I'm at slide lock. Now, at the same time as I'm doing this, I'm reaching back for my magazine, okay? And I want to make sure I've got the magazine in my grubby paw before I inject my rounds out, because I don't want to have an unloaded gun and I throw the magazine across the room. I've been to some simunitions gunfights where the guy goes to reach the magazine and he slings it across the gymnasium, as he's trying to reload because somebody's shooting at him with simunition. So you want to have the rounds in your hand before you eject the magazine. Okay? Eject, magazine out, goes right in just like that, and I slam it forward. And I'm doing that without looking at the gun. I'm looking past the gun at the threat, because if I've got my attention down here, he flanks me, comes up behind, stabs me in the back of the head, that's a bad day. Okay? So I'm looking past the gun at the threat as I'm reloading. Okay? Now if I whack this thing hard enough and there's rounds in it, it could go ahead and chamber around. Okay? If that happens, great. Okay? If it does not happen, I jam it in there forward just like that, and it doesn't go home, all I got to do is come back on target, grab the back of the slide, pull back a little bit, and slingshot it forward, and I'm ready to shoot. And I've done that without moving the gun a whole lot, which gets me back to a two-handed grip on target a heck of a lot faster. Okay? I'll give you one more little piece of advice that'll help you as you're training for this. Right here underneath the inside the grip well, if you take a piece, and mine's wore off, but if you get you a little bit of correction ink, you know, white paint or a paint gun, whatever, or a paint pen, and put a little dot, a little white color dot, a little yellow dot right there in your mag well, and turn it till you can see it, then that's the perfect spot for the gun to be, for you to be able to shove everything up there correctly. Okay? That's all I've got. Quick and to the point. So until next time, you can always catch us online at www.tngun.com.